Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special edition of the Five Star Joshi Show. Today, we are talking Marigold Shine Forever 2025, a glorious celebration. If you're joining us here on the YouTube channel, yes, this is our first stream on my channel. So, thank you to anyone and everyone who joins in or watches the show on demand. Very excited to talk about this show. Shine Forever was a excellent, excellent show. A wonderful celebration, truly, of the first year of this company, and of course, the farewell for Nanae Takahashi. I'll have guests throughout the show joining me to talk about this one. We're going to go up and down the card, and of course, talk the future of Marigold now that Nanae has retired, and we have an idea of where certain things are going. If you're in the chat watching live, or if you are soon to be watching live, please, 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 please make sure to leave a comment. Let me know what you're thinking, and so on and so forth. This is the first of hopefully many live streams on the channel, so I appreciate anyone and everyone who joins. Yeah, but let's get to the show. Hello, Colin. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Admittedly, I am both sick and tired. I am very tired. Less than maybe 2 hours of sleep tops. I have been sick for days, but we are here because I have promised to make this happen. So I appreciate anyone and everyone who joins me along the way. But like I said, we're going to get to this card. I'm not going to wait around. We are going to talk what I thought, like I said, was an excellent show. Hopefully, you're able to check it out over on Wrestle Universe, the pay per view option, of course. But I'm very, very much looking forward to diving into really everything on this card because I really do think it was a special, special show that sets them up for what should be an incredible second year. Now, we're starting off as strong as possible. I don't think, well, I will pitch real quick that you should check out my interview with Mirai over on Fightful.com. I'm very proud of it. Mirai was incredible with her answers. She is one of the best um, interviews I've ever had. She is so open and honest about where she sees herself in Marigold, what her philosophy is in wrestling, and you really saw that emotion on this show. So, like I said, if you're in the chat, let me know as we go match to match. Let me know who's here. Let me know what you're doing. I always welcome the comments and we'll share your thoughts as we go along. But like I said, I don't know if this show could have started stronger than where it did. Shinno Omakai, who of course will just go by Shinno, made her pro wrestling debut at the age of 16 years old against the United National Champion Mai Sakurai, and boy oh boy, what a debut it was. I have seen a lot of rookie debuts in the world of Joshi, especially in the past year or two. And I don't know if there's one that wowed me more. Maybe it's due to the fact that, again, she is 16 years old. Maybe it's due to the fact that she is obviously coming from a wrestling family with her mother, Michiko Omakai, right? There's a lot of pressure there. But she was so natural in the ring, and she started this match off as strong as you could for a debut. Truly, truly special what this match was. Like when this match ended, I said to myself, I don't know if I've seen a better debut in quite some time. Like I have sang the praises of multiple debuts. Hell, Stardom had 2 great debuts this week. But Shinno came out there with a mission, and boy, oh boy, did she show that mission by dropping Mai Sakurai on her head with a Uranagi right off the rip. I was amazed. I was amazed. Um, Young Blink, I knew Shinno and Seri were going to be demons after that brief gauntlet match with Julia, but boy, um, She's a natural, it seems. Those kicks were amazing. Feels like she already knows what she is. It was just unreal. And thank you everyone who's leaving comments. I will make sure to keep reading them as we go on. Yeah, I think that was a perfect way of saying it. She does know what she is. She walked into this match, she walked into this ring and was well aware of who she is and what she's going to be in this pro wrestling world. And the fact that not only did she drop the United National Champion on her head, but I walked away saying, why wasn't the title on the line? Why didn't we just go crazier? Because that's how good Shinno was in her debut. Mai Sakurai, what a what a perfect first opponent. Excuse me. I I was in awe thinking back to just, the first show with Mai Sakurai and thinking back to where we were a year ago when Marigold Fields Forever happened. I don't think anyone walked away from that show being like, oh, you know what? Mai Sakurai is going to be a major player who elevates her game to a level where I am sitting here and watching. I'm like, she was the perfect opponent for this. But that has been the story of Mai Sakurai, right? When she joined Stardom in Cosmic Angels, it just didn't click. Like there was I remember, shout out to Jordan Pot 2. He used to always put out the meme of Sakurai, and then she went to DDM and it got a little bit better, but better to the point where it's like, oh, she's a good tag wrestler, good in trios, but again, do I see her as a big singles wrestler? And last year, since that Julia match that she had at Corkin Hall, it has all clicked. Mai Sakurai has went all in, and she is a star in her own right, and she felt like a massive star here for Shinno to take on. Shinno's kicks were incredible. Shinno's Uranagi was incredible. Shinno's just overall knowledge, I think, of wrestling was incredible, and it doesn't come as a shock, right? This is in her blood, right? It's in her blood. It's the same thing, I think, with what people assume from like a Kazuna Tanaka, which we are seeing a lot of now, is it can come natural to someone who is born into it. And considering that this is her first match, and I have seen the amount of people walk away like, oh my God, it's Shinno, it's Seri Yamaoka, it's Victoria Yuzuki, and it's Kazuna Tanaka. Those are your big four rookies of Marigold. That is your future right there. But we have to give respect to Ryoseto. We have to give respect to Kamo Minami. All these different wrestlers are making their way up, but those four, Shinno instantly joined those three. Instantly with this match. Just the fact that she was bleeding from her nose, the scenes, again, her first match, her mother's on commentary, absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. But she got the crowd into it. The crowd was super into it, right? She gets the sharpshooter, and everyone is absolutely loving it. Just absolutely surreal that this was her first match. I can't stress that enough. This was her first match. The Seri and Shinno tags are going to rule. They bring such different skill sets to the table. Yes, as was said on commentary, they will be teaming very, very soon, which is very exciting. These super rookies teamed up, which is always cool. Hello, Venkin. Welcome. And from Young Blink, Margot will be more than fine. Yes, they will. I think that's kind of the overarching theme of this show, right? We're ending the show with Nanae Takahashi saying so long. Nanae Takahashi put everything she could into this final year of her career and into this first year of Marigold. She put every ounce she had, right? The matches with Sari and Bozilla and Utami, and right, like everything. She was in the Dream Star, something that I don't know if anyone expected, but she did it. She put everything into it. And this show was to show you that she may be leaving, but she has not only left her mark, but her mark is going to be felt for many, many years to come because of this young core, because of this roster. And I think that's what's so exciting about this. It's incredible. Andrew, the people who hate the promotion will never admit it, but the growth of the wrestlers from Ryogoku to now has been incredible. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think even from January to now, we can go back to first stream and it's been really incredible. Again, leveling up. Everyone is leveling up. When Mayu Iwatani walked through the door, you felt an urgency among everyone just a little bit more. You felt an urgency with Nanae on the way out, right? All the passion countdown matches. So I applaud everyone on the show, but most importantly, I applaud Shinno for her incredible first match. Mai Sakurai was the perfect opponent. She's going to be a monster. Like, what a prospect. How exciting. And I'm wishing her the absolute best in her career. I can't wait to see what she does next. This was as good of a debut as I've seen. Then we had, of course, then we kind of switched, right? This card pivoted from, okay, we have the big debut, and then we have some undercard tags. That's just kind of the way it goes. And this match was Chinyota, Arina Yamanaka, Ryoko Sakamura, and Nagisa Tachibana versus Nagisa Nozaki, Chiaki, Misa Matsui, and Megaton. Pretty much as advertised. I don't think you really expected too much here. The benefits of this match is, one, you love to see, Chinyota get on the big show. You love to see Yamanaka get on the big show. Tachibana showing a lot of heart and a lot of growth. And with Darkness Revolution and, Ryoko Sakamura, she's trying, right? Darkness Revolution, they are trying to, in a way, still reestablish themselves since Bozilla left. And I think that starts and runs through Misa Matsui. Misa Matsui is the star of this faction. And I think that's very clear each and every match, because who's the one winning this match? It's Misa Matsui, right? That is the importance here of getting her that win. And now I know we can have the conversation of, yes, she is next. We'll talk about that here in a second. But that's what this faction is for. And I have no problem with what this match did, was, again, getting her over, while also teasing that Megaton probably has her days numbered in this group. It sure feels that way. Had she lost, she was out. She didn't lose. Misa Matsui was able to get the win, but there was a little bump in the road on the way, and that's kind of the story we're following now. So more and more, as Darkness Revolution moves forward, more and more are they seemingly try to, again, get more dominant in time. So I think that's kind of the important conversation to have here when it comes to this faction and what this match was, which again was a simple win for them. From Andrew, from her debut, Marigold to now, Mai has become one of my favorite wrestlers. Young Blake, marvelous rivalry, and Mayu double shot with a passion injection. Yes, it was. I actually thought the Idol rookies looked pretty good in this match. I want to give Tachibana a lot of credit. I think since the moment she's returned from injury, she is showing signs. That Komomo Minami match that obviously a lot of people talked about from last weekend was quite good and quite the eye-opener. Anton says Ryoko Sakamura feels a bit slower recently. I wonder why that is, but I hope she's doing well. I do too, because her debut against Nanae was really strong, right? And I think it had a lot of people excited. So I do hope she's doing well. She did take last weekend off, so I think it was more for whatever her modeling or such. But yeah, we're obviously rooting for everyone to figure things out. But I'll give credit real quick before we leave here to Megaton. She is super over. That is undeniable. So I think that's always a very important part of this, is to describe and explain who is over, which of course she is. So congrats to her, I guess. The next match was the return of Kouki Amarei, the GHC Women's Champion, teaming with Kazuna Tanaka to take on Chika Goto and Yuki Minami. Kouki was not at her best on this day, which I think is fine, because we have to remember she is coming back from a torn ACL. And I also will say, I don't think her and Gochika actually have the best chemistry against one another. I just, I don't think it clicked like I would have wanted them to, but I'm going to give them especially Kouki, some leeway because, again, she is just back from a tough injury in a speed run amount of time. 5 months is very short for a torn ACL. So that I will give her. I will also give credit, however, to the Yuki Minamis and Kazuna Tanakas of this match. I thought they both looked solid. Kazuna Tanaka is ready to make her way up this card. There was no other spot for her on the show, so I didn't have a problem with her just being Kouki second because in the end they got the win. But I do think that Kazuna Tanaka deserves to get another higher spot moving forward because I think she is fantastic. Bobby says, I'm impressed by Chenyo's work in Margot. She's been great. Torn ACLs are just bad wrestling injuries in general. Yeah, they are. I mean, they're just bad injuries, like wrestling or not. They are injuries that if you're in a professional sport, you miss the year, right? You miss the entire year when you get one. So it's pretty crazy. It's very odd because a lot of times when people have partner chemistry, they look good, but when they're against each other, it's off. Yeah, I mean, I think Twin Towers great together as a duo. I don't think they're necessarily great together as opponents, which I think again is fine. Yeah, she did get me. Koki Selly made me think she got injured again. She really made us relive that a little bit. But I will say I am happy she's back. Hopefully in time, things start to come together. I didn't expect her to be on her A game that she had finally found at the end of last year. It's going to take some time, and that's okay. But it is nice to see her back and see if she got through it. Still 100%. So that's the things that matter, right? We take the good from the bad. This match wasn't anything to write home about, but she is back and she gets the win. So that's important, pinning Yuki Minami. So that again, that's what I like to bring up. Kazuna, Gochika, and Yuki Minami all deserve bigger spots, but today wasn't about them, I guess. That's true. Listen, Gochika, she just got the United National title match. Like, they wanted to make up for no UN title match on here. I thought she shined tremendously. I thought she had an incredible match. And the fact of the matter is, I think to me, when she gets that moment, when she gets that title, it's going to be a very, very special moment in Marigold's history. From Bobby, who could be next opponent from Mai Sakurai for the United National Championship? That's a great question. That's a great question. I don't know. The UN is such a difficult title to figure out. Based on, who won, Misa Matsui, we know where she's going. And obviously she's already faced Mai Sakurai. It's not an easy one to figure out because a lot of the potential opponents are not the ones getting big wins. I'd go with Kazuna, honestly. Like, I would just give Kazuna that opportunity. I don't know what show. I don't care what show. I think she deserves the opportunity. You're trying to lift people up through this title. Obviously, that's what they've been doing. Why not give it to Kazuna? Why not give her a shot? Murph's Mayu in the GHC seems too good to pass up. Yeah, it does. And the fact that she's already been asked to head to Monday Magic tells me that maybe it is not too far away. Bobby, how about someone on the Marvelous roster? I don't think that's a bad idea whatsoever. Obviously Maria and Rico have the twin stars, but I think an opponent from there, Mio Momino kind of jumps off the page, obviously, once she is available. As someone that, maybe could win it. I don't know. But there's plenty of options. It's just a matter of who they want to boost up. Rhea Seto would be really cool. She did get the big win on this show, so I have no problems with this. I think that's kind of the fun of what's next, right? Is a sense of there's no guarantees and there's a lot of unpredictability, but that's the fun of what's there to build moving forward. Speaking of Marigold versus Marvelous, this is really when I feel like the show kicked into that next gear. The show went from, okay, we had the incredible debut match. We had two fine undercards, whatever. But this this raised the stakes because Marigold versus Marvelous is special. It's such a special feud. Truly. Like, there is just something so incredible about what these two sides bring to the table. It's no pun intended, passion for their promotions. It's passion to represent. And I thought this match did such a good job at letting pretty much everyone shine within the match. The fact that the ending sequence was between Rhea Seto and Ai Hozan was awesome. Like, that was so awesome. I don't know if anyone expected that. Obviously, you look at Sanka, you look at the Twin Star champions, Magenta. They were kind of the three you'd expect in that spot, but they gave it to Ai Hozan. And in terms of the Marigold side, you kind of thought maybe it would be Natsumi Shizuki who would get that spot, but Rhea Seto, who has continued to step up and really, really make some pushes to be pushed. I think she deserved it. She deserved this spot. She shined in this spot. Her and Ai Hozan crushed it in the final sequence. But honestly, everyone crushed it. I really did think that this match was super, super good. Right, you play with the elimination rules, and sometimes that can get messy, but I thought they did a good job at it. You have now Shikawa and Natsumi Shizuki eliminate Magenta at the same time. I thought Kamo Minami looked great, even in defeat. Sanka, obviously, always a beast, got her pinfall on Kamo Minami, so they made sure to give her one. Sorayame is very good. Hey, even Hummingbird did moves today. Shouts out to the bird. No, but in all seriousness, this picked up. This lifted up the show to that next level, I think, and it was really there for the rest of the show. And Tom wants Jungle Kiona to come back and take the GHC belt from her. I would love just Jungle to come back, which I think we are getting that, which is very good. Mio versus Mayu for the GHC. Let's just do Mio versus Mayu for any belt, you know? Like, it could be GHC, it could be the world title, it can be anything. I'm all in on it. Happy Rossi is seeing what we all see in Rhea. I love that this match gave Hozan, Seto, now, and Seika Sora time to shine. I agree. Kamomo and Rhea taking those next steps. Very positive outside the big four. The Kamomo Sanka stretch was so good. That's true. That was like, I thought maybe the most shocking part. Again, not because I think they're both exciting rookies, but they've never shared the ring together as far as I'm concerned. They just clicked. I love the struggle in these rivalry matches. Although Marigold is very top heavy, the rookies, they have a lot of potential. Rhea Seto and Ai Hozan getting the spot and time they need to show just how much they improved. That's very true. You can build up Rhea Seto as future promo for Mayu Iwatani as a Superfly. Absolutely. Absolutely you can. It is really incredible what this unit has done for both companies. Truly one of the best things to happen in wrestling in 2025. Could not agree more. Well, Vanking, you're correct. Mayu 5 belts is incoming. I think it's best to just assume every belt is hers. It's just a matter of when, not if. But I do think some people have some good claims right now to other championships. Tribal Peach carried as she should. I mean, listen, Kamala Minami's awesome. Okay, you're not going to hear anything bad out of me. I think she has crushed it. I think she has all the confidence in the world right now. The gear switch has just been like her leveling up somehow. I don't know. I don't get it, but hey, shouts out to her. We love when these young wrestlers can succeed. And I honestly thought everyone did succeed. And I'll say this might be a hot take, but I'm going to say it. I think Maria is absolutely crushing the new Magenta vibe because I thought she was always born to be a heel. Rico, I'm still getting used to because Rico's a fantastic babyface, but I do think they're still very good. And I did like that in this match, they didn't totally give up on Marvelous. They allowed the match to breathe. They allowed the match to deliver. So a very good match from, again, the lower part of the card for each side. Well, not each side. Marvelous is a few person company, but from Marigold, and then Marvelous, of course, continues to step up. All right, I will welcome my first guest in here now. Don't worry, Colin. She's not getting handed. We start with one, and then another one, and then another. No, in all seriousness, I thought the Superfly was the perfect belt for her to win because she can work with the younger wrestlers. We'll talk about this in a second. Anton, I didn't know how much Marvelous before this rivalry, but the promotion looks so good, and that with them now in Wrestle Universe, I guess I have to watch both going forward. Absolutely. Mayu all belts. Listen, I Harkin, you know who you're talking to. I'm never gonna say no to that, but I do think some struggle to her at least getting one of the belts will be smart. We start with that, then she recruits Yuzuki, and then takes the Twin Star titles. Yeah, this is true. We are off to a good start there. But I will welcome my first guest at this time. Dylan, welcome to the show, my friend.
Hi, Scott. Hi, everybody. Happy to be here. I just woke up like 25 minutes ago. Um,
And awake,
but
unlike me.
but we're rocking. Yeah. What a fucking show, man. Like I know we're halfway through, and like I would love to jump in and talk about
We'll
this.
go. We can go back to Shinno. Don't worry.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm excited to talk about Ashino. I know I missed her a little bit, but I see everybody in the chat seems particularly excited to talk about your favorite, Mayu Iwatani.
Yes. Yes.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I had a great time with the show. This match that we have on the screen right now, I particularly really liked. I would agree with you. I think Magenta um, is doing a good job. I think Magenta is interesting with their placement in Marvelous because they still fuck with Marvelous, and like heels in these sort of situations usually don't. But I kind of appreciate that there's like, yeah, we fuck with Mio Momono, we're cool with her, we fuck with Chigusa. We just don't fuck with like all this bullshit, I guess. Like I don't know, like just like that vibe, I was like, that works because they were still like, yeah, we'll do the corner rush, but we just like just like an apathy that didn't get in the way
Mhm.
worked a lot better than them being like active problems for
Yeah.
the match, like heels sometimes can be in these sorts of situations. Um, as for my girls right here, shout out to all of them. They all did very well. It was nice seeing all of them have a really good performance. Um, I know you texted me, Natsumi Shizuki, for whatever reason, just really loves tormenting young wrestlers, and she did that. She was
She did.
she was fucking up Ayame and Sanka big time. Hummingbird had a good performance, which you know I'm always excited about.
Of
And yeah,
course.
it was a really fun match. I quite liked it.
Yeah, I think the fun of this match is just kind of seeing again from the comments, especially just the excitement for these five and the other five on the other side. It's not just about right the Mayus and the Utamis and the Mirais in this company, right? Or even the super rookies, right? It's about these wrestlers right here. These wrestlers standing up.
Hmm.
Rhea Seto having again an incredible showing. I thought her and Iho San were
Yes,
so good in the final stretch where I was just like, what is happening? I was like, I know these are both good wrestlers, but they just clicked. They just clicked.
the Black Diamond,
The
Black
Black
Diamond, new
Diamond,
nickname.
yes. Yes.
Um, yeah, I was really happy with Rhea Seto as well. She hit, you know, not to bring up the road here, but she hit Yoshihashi and Yu Uemura's finishers, and I think that is so cool. Like you picked the two best guys. Like I love this. Um, you picked the two best guys finishes to take, and I fuck with it. Headhunter, uh, and yeah, the deadbolt shout out. But yeah, I thought she did great. It was just nice to see everybody kind of locking in. You know, like I think
Yeah.
I you know, we aren't going to talk about because the match didn't really matter. But even earlier, like the Darkest Revolution tag, Misa just randomly, you know, was still cooking. And I was like, you know, like these
Yeah.
wrestlers are ready for a big match, like ready
Yeah.
for a big show. Because she had a great showing there, even though the match wasn't anything particularly special.
Yeah.
Uh, and this match was just full of that. It was 10 Misa Matsuis. All of them were ready to kind of cook, and
They
I
were.
appreciated that.
Venkin makes a good point. There's just something about watching rookies improve, to be honest. It's
Hmm.
very true. It's very true. It's one of the best parts of being a wrestling fan is watching these wrestlers level up. That's what Young Blink said. Honestly, that's what I like most about Marigold, seeing these girls improve. I think for the first year, myself and others, Dylan included, have been like,
Mm.
the reason to watch is that, right? You're watching wrestlers grow. Most of the roster is not, former World of Stardom champion. Most of the roster not former Wonder of Stardom champion. It's either wrestlers from Actress Girls that you didn't know before, or legitimate rookies that are coming in and trying to make a name for themselves. And you watch these 5 have this performance in this match. We'll talk about Seri Yamaoka next. We'll talk about Victoria Yuzuki. We'll talk about obviously Shinno here and again in a second. But that's the excitement. Harkin says Rhea Seto being a Yu Yu Uemura stan is why she's the real. Marvelous did debut new trainees. Yes, 12 and 15 as Colin points out. So don't know how much they'll be wrestling, but
I think the 12-year-old has to wait to properly
yeah,
debut because I think they are an over.
yeah,
I thought they were an over 15 fed. So
I
having a
think
12-year-old
yeah,
is fascinating.
crazy.
Yeah.
But it is good to see Chigusa continuously having new rookies. I think that's
Oh yeah,
also
definitely.
very exciting. We'll get back to Shinno here for you
Mm.
because I know you and then my other guest will want to talk about Shinno as well. So let's get back to Shinno. Shinno Omakai making her debut in a losing effort against Mai Sakurai, but there was no part of her that actually lost this match.
Should have been a title match. I'm
Yeah,
I'm
I said
there.
that
I'm
earlier. I
there.
said like that. I after the Uranagi, I was like, why is this not for the belt?
Bro, do you
Imagine,
know it
imagine those stakes.
we've gone 5 months without a Uranagi merchant on this roster. We needed one. We needed one. We missed it.
It's true.
By the same person, by the way, handed
I,
down by the same person, both. Kinda. I mean,
I
very
would
hard.
like to know, and obviously, I guess I'm the person to ask this, but I would like to know Sari's thoughts on Shino.
Yeah.
Eventually,
It would be
that's
awesome if
my
there was
job.
a. It'd be awesome if there was a guy who interviews Sari every month.
Yeah, I was
Like,
gonna say I'd love to know, and I was like, I gotta be the one to ask.
yeah.
But yeah,
Uh,
I think she was incredible. But I'll let you talk about her here.
yeah. Shino was great. It's interesting because obviously immediately there were comparisons between her and Seri, and I think Seri caters to my stylistic tastes
Sure.
more. Uh, but there's something about someone who just kicks you. You know what I mean? Like even if I am I'm
Yeah.
a big technical nerd and really like the intricate, like nerdiness of that Mirai match for Seri. Um,
Sure.
this was the perfect match for Shino in the same way that I think the Mirai match was the perfect match for Seri because she just really went out there and showed the grit that her mom had, which is the main thing you wanted. Because Michiko
Mhm.
Omakai, she was technically gifted. She was a great kicker, a great striker, but more than anything, she was there to like fuck you up. Like she was really like down to go. She was a real uh throw herself into the match type of wrestler, and very clearly she took after her in that regard. Um, it was such a great match. Her bleeding, while immediately concerning, because I was like, this kid's 16. She gets busted open her first match. She might go running. And then I remembered if she goes running, her mom's gonna be like, you can't run.
I don't think she's
You got,
going
you,
running based
yeah,
on how she like
yeah,
woke
I
up
know.
after it.
But when you first see the blood with a
Yeah,
child rookie, it's like, oh no. But then I thought about it, it's like her mom's not gonna let her get out for at least a year. Like she's gonna make her at least see it through a year.
she's built
Um,
for it.
and immediately she was down for it. She was here
Yeah,
to take that beating, to bleed, bleed from the nose a little bit, get kicked in the head, and just get dropped on her head and give it all back in return. I thought it was such a great retire or not retirement match. We'll talk about that later. Such a great debut match for her. And Sunny said that next tour it'll be her and Sari tagging together. Super
yeah,
excited for that. Um, yeah, I'm just super excited for everything we get to see from Shino. I think it will be difficult for her, with the part-time schedule to really become a top dog anytime soon. But if I know Rossi, he's not afraid to put a white belt on an 18-year-old. So we might only have a
she
couple years. You know what I
she
mean?
is called Super Rookie after all.
Yeah.
There was no hesitation with that. I will welcome Peps onto the stage now because I'm not going back to Shino. This is the last time we're talking about Shino for now. So Peps, welcome. You can get your Shino thoughts out before I run away.
Yeah. Oh God.
Damn, damn. Sick ass
That's so
motherfucker
weird.
over here.
Thanks.
No, I'm okay. Hello everyone to the chat. I'm the last one to say my thoughts on Shino, and I want to say she's already better than Kota Ibushi ever was. Thank you.
Nice. Nope. You know what? That's all we need. Peps,
You know,
we're moving on.
No, my buddy who's kind of new to Joshi texted me like, so do you know anything about this debut girl? And I'm just like, yeah, and I was like explaining everything, and I'm just like, and the least impressive thing about her is that Kota Ibushi co-signs her and thinks she's fucking dope. And he's like, wait, what? The fuck do you mean? I was like, yeah, he gave her the
Yeah.
Kamigoye and everything. Like he's fucking with her, and he's like,
I
okay.
I didn't say this about the match earlier, but I do want to say that I just love that her go-to is like, what if I just hit a jumping knee?
And they were good.
Like,
They were good. Jumping
yeah, like
knees.
multiple times she's like, what if I just threw one? You know, we'll see what happens. And I think that'll be the fun part of her.
The funniest thing was that she just hit like the biggest move she hit all match, like 60 seconds in with the Uranagi, and I was like, okay. And then she didn't do.
She started getting her shit rocked. She was like, "Okay, I need to hit the Uranagi." That's like, she's like
she didn't hit many moves after, which is okay because she's a rookie and she has the advantage. I think Rana has the same thing over her classmates at the beginning. Now it doesn't matter anymore, but just having kicks is something that helps you if you have like a limited moveset, like 3 to 4 moves to fill the time in between, and that will put her above many of the other rookies that not only Marigold has, but in general right now.
I mean, I said after the first 5 seconds of the match, it's like this girl already has some of the best kicks in wrestling, and then decided to drop my Sakurai on her goddamn head. So that's real.
She kicked. I know we talk about it a lot. She kicked Julia no kick pads, and that shit was like
that's true.
That's crazy.
That's
like no kick pads in sneakers kicking, and it sounds like that. That's not right.
I will say it's a shame we can no longer base anything off that match anymore. We have seen everything now. It was a lot of fun though for a while. But let's get to the next match that we were talking about. And that is Seri Yamaoka versus Takumi Iroha, and then the Marigold versus Marvelous match. Seri Yamaoka, I thought, looked great in defeat and the most comfortable she's looked, at least in a singles match wise. So far, she felt her most natural in there. I think that's always been like, to me, the fascinating thing about her is as good as she's been and as good as the signs she's showing. I think getting natural in the ring was going to be her next step, and she felt very natural in there, especially with someone who again is not part of the company. So that was nice to see. And Takumi's very good at leading such a match like this. I thought the plan of the match was great. Seri Yamaoka told everyone what she was planning to do, and it was go for Takumi's weakness, which of course was trying to take out her legs. She had a great ankle lock in. Shout out to Kashi Shigira. And Takumi just in the end felt so dominant, even though Seri got a lot of offense in this match. Like she got more than I expected. I thought this was going to be a one-sided beatdown, but no, it was not. Seri took her beating from Takumi, but she gave it right back. And I think, again, what you're seeing is her believing in herself a little bit more. It obviously can be hard. I think it can be hard when you are side by side with Nanae Takahashi. Obviously, Nanae did so much to help her as well. But, I think it's Nanae is so confident in the way she wrestles that trying to match that when, again, you're 1 match in, 2 match in, 3 match in can be really hard. But this was really great to see. And like I said, I think these two sides have done an incredible job at making Takumi feel like this absolute monster, because the way she ended this match and was just like so upset with Marvelous after. She's like, get out of my way. I thought that was fantastic. So they're building her up obviously for the big match that we know that's coming sooner rather than later. But what were your thoughts on Seri Yamaoka versus Takumi Iroha? Whichever one you'd like to go first.
I can go first. Screw you,
okay.
Takumi is just like, I am so happy with Takumi right now. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, me and Scott, we have talked about it a lot. over the past few years post injury. Post she had like 2 pretty much back-to-back injuries a few years ago that really took something out of her, and it's been a struggle for her to get it back as a singles. Obviously, her tag stuff has never really faltered or
Yeah,
wavered. She's
never
always been a great.
diminished. It's always
Yeah,
been
she's
consistent.
always been a tremendous tag wrestler, but the past few years have been a bit of a struggle for her singles wise. But this Marigold feud, and I think the last Mako match, the second Mako match, not so much the first one. I think this
Ugh.
feud and the most recent Mako match really kind of like woke her back up, and I'm so here for it. This match was so cool, and I mean, like, after the match, Takumi said backstage, and this is just a bar because of course it's a bar, it's Takumi. She was like, "I respect Seri for going for my legs and for having that in mind, but she's got to understand everybody goes for my fucking legs. I know how to deal with this shit." Like, she's like, "I am not new. Like,
Yeah,
I've been here. I know what the fuck's going on. You need to come at me with some better game than just go for
I
the legs."
I
And I thought that was so
found this
cool.
shot crazy, by the way. I was like, they are making her seem like the meanest motherfucker around, and I think that's great.
And it's so funny because like Sunny and Rossi and everybody are like, "Yeah, Takumi's like the nicest person I've ever met." Like they're
Well, I
always
mean,
like, "Yeah, she's
the
a
next
sweetheart."
time, the next 2 times you see Takumi, she's having a bit. She's doing a bit in the ring with Utami, and then she's crying her
Bawling
eyes
her
out with
eyes out.
Nanae. So
Yeah,
like, that's the part of it.
but
Let me
like
just get to
it's
these
so
comments real
funny.
quick. My apologies.
Very
Oh
good.
my god. Harkin.
You're
You
right.
can't put that into the world. Now I'm gonna be sad when I don't get it. She'll be Marigold Rena, turn 18 and win the belts. Well, I need Rena
Well,
to win the belts.
yeah, I
First.
was gonna say she'll be
She
Marigold's
hasn't.
Momo, more likely.
Many are choosing the rookie Shinno over Sayori, but I'd never say that. You just okay. That shit was amazing. Thank God for Takumi keeping Marvelous ahead in the feud. Yeah, they're up 4-2, so that's pretty crazy. The stare down at the end of this one gave me a lot of confidence that this promotional feud will be going till Mio's. Oh, it's not stopping anytime soon. Don't you worry. These two sides hate each other, and you can also remember that the Twin Star champions are part of Marvelous, so
Yeah,
that
true.
probably helps. Punked all her flunkies on the head after the match. Yeah, she did. She smacked all of them. She's like, you
even Mio, she's like, "I didn't even wrestle, bro. What the fuck? I
all
didn't
right,
do
why
nothing.
are we trying? Can we stop trying to hurt us? Nori's not
Nori
here.
ain't
I
here."
can't take it. Okay, we want Nori here, but she's not. But you're real for that. I would love that match. Peps, what did you think about Takumi destroying poor Seri Yamaoka? Which hair was lovely, by the way. I thought the new hair was great.
I like the boyish hair. I think it fits. It's cool.
Yeah,
I think
which
it's a
means
shot
she's going
back
to
up
change
to-
it like a month again.
Oh, for
A
sure.
month if we're
That's-
lucky, bro. It'll be next week.
When is next character beginning? June? I think so.
Yeah.
Next
I
year.
think it's like
Yeah,
2 weeks. Yeah.
and then at the latest. I thought the match was good. I felt like I was a bit surprised, like you two, that it was not that dominant because like the way I imagined this match was a Go Chica versus Iroha, but in even more dominant way because the truth is Seri's just like easier to handle for someone like Iroha and kayfabe with this with size and everything. So I thought, okay, she will just kick the hell out of her. And something I noticed with Iroha is, and we always make fun of her because of her leg slaps and something.
Oh yeah.
But when she is in with a rookie or with a person she disrespects in story, she doesn't leg slap at all. Like, she just kicks, and that is like the best Iroha you can have because that is the Iroha we want to see. And I think that was like that and the Go Chica match, maybe even a tag match as well, but it was more about Sanka than her. That is like the Iroha I want to see, not only in Marigold, but also Marvelous itself. I think her being like this perfect ace thing that she has been going in Marvelous ever since she's coming back from injury in 2021 is like, that's not her, in my opinion. So I think she has been doing really well this year and has been doing great. I think on the other side, Seri has been good. Like, is she the super rookie that she's been promised? I mean, yes, but also like no. I think she has some flaws still in her game that other super rookies didn't have. I know Utami is a very controversial super rookie, if like in deeper stardom fan base, but I think she was like more consistent at least. But it was also the case because she had like so many more singles matches as Seri. That was like Seri's, I think, 5th singles match or 6th. She had
She had
Mirai, Seto, Yuki, Komomo, Nanae,
and this
Iroha
one,
6. Yes. So like this being like the 6 singles match was like pretty impressive.
It's really 3 singles matches. The other 3 are rookie versus rookie, essentially.
Are very
okay.
Not very meaningful.
And the second one was great.
Yeah, the second one was very good. Komomo was also really good.
I mean, you won't get a bigger fan of Seri Yamaoka than myself, so like I understand, and I think and that's why I said like for her, this felt her most comfortable I've seen from her, and I think that's a good thing because obviously Nanae is not going to be there anymore. I'm fascinated to see what she does now that that's the case. It's why I would like her to pair up with Mirai, which by the way, Mirai said yes. Seri, you just have to ask. Just letting you know, and you should do a lefty heart attack.
Shout out.
Would be fantastic. I'm just saying. But I think with her, it's again, like Peps is saying, more singles are going to do her a lot of good. I think she's kind of gotten the tag match down. She's really good at getting beat down and then making the hot tag and then eventually coming in, hitting her big drop kick, hitting her spear. But more matches like this will be a lot of good for her, and you want to see her eventually face again the higher ups of this promotion while also having to be one of the most protected wrestlers on the roster. I know she lost here, but she's only been pinned so few times. So
I'll
that's
also say one thing, to be fair to Seri, drone allegations be damned, but I think to be fair to Seri, Utami debuted and then went into tournament season. Where she immediately had 8 singles matches against wrestlers all over the spectrum in terms of the roster. She faced foreigners, she faced Kagetsu, she faced Tam, she faced everybody, and and it really gave her an immediate varied amount of matches. Not all of them were great or even good, but she was able to immediately do that. And then she also had the tag league with Momo, where she really found her bread and butter as a tag wrestler that we see to this day. Utami is a tremendous tag wrestler. You could argue she's better at that than she is at singles half the time. So it's like she got those immediate reps in so quickly. I think the real question mark will be the Dream Star for Seri, and seeing how that constant onslaught of singles matches will affect her. Because I think this was a good sign. Like I think this match, while it wasn't like Seri like making this huge step forward in terms of her skill and ability and what she brings to the table, it still did show me that like she has a consistency to her, and she can work against these top level wrestlers like Takumi, and I'm excited to see kind of like how she goes from here without Nanae, like you said.
That's like the most interesting part about her career, because she has like nothing really. Like she technically, like they will likely put her just with Mirai or Utami or whoever. Like that's like the obvious thing, or with Shinno, of course. But like there is like no real partner that she has right now, and that will be her next big thing, to find a new partner, or like either not a senior, because I think that makes the most sense. Or she takes junior, but there aren't many.
I will say, and again, the reason I think I have so much hope with her is one, she's obviously great at selling, and that's a big part of what her game has been. But she's so naturally explosive in her offense. If she can just again piece it all together, she's going to be just fine. And like you guys are saying, the moment we get to tournament season, it all changes. That will be her big test, and you'll watch her grow through that. So let me Yeah, you can ask me a question. What was this? I saw something that companies are forced to run bigger shows at Cork and Hall because a bunch of venues are closed. Yeah, I mean they were. Oda War was closed for a year.
Osaka's closed.
Osaka.
One.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
Nagoya's closing in
you're right.
June.
Yeah, a lot of them are close. So next week is Seri and Kimono big hometown show. Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're
That'll
both
be
from
fun.
Fukuoka.
Yeah, take that,
that
Micah.
makes sense why she's good.
She's not the only one, but I had to do it. I mean, they also, I know this is that they want to make Corkin special.
Yep.
That's why they put such big matches there, and that's why they keep. And they're a smaller company. You have to remember they're not going to run Oda Award every 2 months. They're going to, or Oda Award size. They're going to make Yogi a bit extra special. They're going to make Sumo Hall a bit extra special, extra special, based on the one time we've been there. But you get the point. Like the basis is Korakuen is their big show. Shinjuku Face, they like to put title matches on, things like that. It's very old school Stardom, with more big venues involved as well, which is always cool. So that is part of it. But yeah, the Nanae match was great. I did enjoy that very much.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, like I think these matches back to back for her are great, and it's kind of what you want to see for her. And again, I'm very excited to see her now post Nanae, because this was technically post Nanae for her, and I thought again it was very natural for her. So I'm very excited for that. But I've waited long enough. We're moving on. Victoria Yuzuki versus Mayu Iwatani for the Superfly Championship match. As Dylan informed me, I might have cut a promo on Victoria Yuzuki on my podcast this past week. I don't have any recollection of that. But what I do have recollection of was that I was right. And that's what matters the most. Mayu Iwatani defeats Victoria Yuzuki. I love this match. I thought it was great. Victoria Yuzuki is out of her mind in so many ways. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. Because the moment they got in the ring, like the bell didn't even ring yet, by the way, and she was hitting Mayu. I need to point this out. She was so pumped up for this match. She was across the ring before the bell even rang. And I think that, again, shows a sign of how much this means to her. You look back a year later, she took the chance. She left Stardom for Marigold, obviously hoping and waiting for her teacher, her mentor, to walk in the door 1 year later, and she gets this big match. And I think my favorite part of this match is they didn't have to go time limit. They didn't have to go near the time limit. It was 9 minutes and like 50 seconds of just nonstop action where they kind of just destroyed each other. I was watching. I was like, is Mayu actually mad about the moves being taken, or but in all seriousness, I love the way this match was situated. Dylan said it really well on Twitter. This was about, Yuzuki obviously taking a lot of Mayu's moves. And in the end, how does she lose? The one move that isn't Mayu's move. And I think that was perfect, right? She hits the trifecta, and she told you she was going to do it. Like when Mayu tells you something, you got to listen, people. Everyone was telling me, well, It could be a draw. Buddy, I've watched Mayu Iwatani versus Starlight Kid. I've watched Mayu Iwatani versus Tam Nakano. It's not time for a draw yet. It's about 5 matches too early, folks. This is how this works. Except Victoria Yuzuki may finally get that win that those two never did. Nakano 0-4-3, by the way. I just like to point these things out.
Tell him when he's telling lies.
Yeah, I know. I like to point these things out. I thought the double masks were really cool. Always love that. Always love.
I think when I saw Yuzuki's hair, that's when I realized it wasn't going to go to a draw. I realized, no, I think this is her going down.
I meant to say the most important part about this match. The big match theme was here. Yes. There was no worry in the world.
It wasn't even a remix. It's just the theme.
No, it was the theme.
Just the
there
theme.
was no hesitation. I love that Was it who was the publication that said, yeah, I don't know if we can get the theme, and then they just had exactly the theme. Like, that was awesome. But yeah, they both have the masks. That looks like an Utami mask. I just realized looking at it, looks
They are
almost
sisters.
like, yeah, they are, except tough afterward. But yeah,
They close the show together. It's okay. It's okay.
I had they were all out there. I don't know what you want. Cope. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Shout out Edge.
Yeah, big Edge.
But I really enjoyed it because Mayu gave Yuzuki a lot, but in the end she was still pretty much like, yeah, you don't have enough. That is the beauty of these mentor matches for Mayu, is she kind of just punks you in the end. It's like, better luck next time, kid. And she was so happy about this belt. I think that's another topic point. She loves this belt. She was wearing this belt all around the building. She was wearing it in the post match when no one else had their belts, which I thought was very funny. She's like, this is my belt, this is my trophy. She was also amazed at how big the trophy was, which was very funny. How did you enjoy this match, Peps? We'll go Peps first.
What am I allowed to say in this podcast? What I'm not? Like, I like Dylan said it the best. I think she was on cocaine.
Yeah, no, Yuzuki was
like
Yuzuki was off a fucking bean, bro. Like, it was, she was screaming. I was like, damn, okay, damn.
Listen. There was no one more happy that she was here, that Mayu was here, than that girl right there. And then she had to also act like she was tough. But once she got in the ring, she's like, oh my God, I'm living my dream. It was kind of crazy just to think about, by the way, the 1 year since the match they last had. I think about that a lot too. And like, holy shit, where Yuzuki is gone in a year. I mean, we talk about it all the time. Haters be damned. Yuzuki's incredible. And yeah, but yeah, she was I knew she'd be crazy, and I always I wondered going into this match. I don't know if anyone else did. Could Mayu calm her down enough? And the answer was yes. Instantly, easily Yuzuki's best match, and not just because it was against Mayu. Big match theme is alive and well. Vic, Big Sis Utami would never steal your title. Well,
to be fair,
that's true.
I don't think weight class wise that works.
All right, easy.
Okay,
think
no
about
Rossi,
it.
not like
this
not
was
like
my match of the night. I just wish it went to a draw. Sorry, no.
What was the time on this? Do you have the time?
9 minutes and 50.
It definitely could have went
some seconds.
Yeah,
for me.
I said it to Dylan during the show. I felt like that could have gone like 2 minutes longer, but I
9 minutes and 58
about
seconds exactly.
But I liked about it that you left a lot out between them, because like it wasn't like Yuzuki had like any shot of winning. Like, they didn't tell that story at all in the match before it, and it made like no sense, because let's be real, Mayu should not lose until the Dream Star. I would think her first loss will be against Utami in the Dream Star or something. Utami or whoever they face on day one.
Yeah, that's fair. She loses to Utami, I guess.
She does usually lose day one of tournaments.
Yes. It should be Aono.
A lot of praise for Yuzuki. This is a good day. I'm very happy about
I
that.
think this match was very, very good.
A great point by Xavier, though.
Also true. Shout out.
Wait, I have
Peps,
something
you would like that take. I feel like Peps and Xavier would bond on their appreciation for Kazuna. But I think the thing about this match was that it was not and will not be the definitive Mayu versus Victoria Yuzuki match.
No.
And I think that's kind of like where any shortcomings don't really matter to me here. You know, like I said, I would have liked it to go a little bit further. Maybe, push a draw, maybe not like hit it, but like get closer to it. Give a bit more to Yuzuki in terms of like realistic potential
Yuzuki got
win.
0 near falls.
Yeah, like it was really
0.
It was really hard for her after the opening gate, where she was really like taking the fight to her. She was kind of getting cooked after that. So I thought it was great. That was a really, really good match, but it wasn't the definitive match. I expect a better one from them in the future. I'm excited for it.
Well, I will say this: I did not want this to be close because it shouldn't be
Yeah,
at the
true.
experience level. Like that's not me being a Mayu fan. That's me being like, I watch how these feuds for Mayu are built, especially, and I compared it to the Starlight Kid one in the lead up. Because I think that can kind of be the replacement for what that was once upon a time. Is each year Kid got closer, notably in the matches, but still never got there. This is the second one for these two. The first one was really just rookie versus veteran. This one is now Yuzuki, making her ways up, showing what she's all about, but still not coming close. The next time, whether that's the Dream Star, whether that is a title rematch, whatever it may be, it'll be fun to see that as well. But I'm just happy that these two get to be together again. You can see the happiness. Yuzuki was crying tears of happiness and joy, even though she lost. And that's the beauty of wrestling, folks, because tears are inevitable on this show, unfortunately, because we have to talk about Nanae still. Sorry, just remembered that and got really sad. But I'm very excited for them to team up. Obviously, I'm excited for them to tell that story because they also, Yuzuki and Utami didn't act like that's over.
What are you laughing at?
Meltz is arguing with the Twitter AI right now.
What?
Yeah, he's talking with Croc, the Twitter AI, about ratings.
Oh Jesus! Oh, that's crazy, Xavier. But yeah, I don't know. Motherfucker, stop! Quit your giggling, okay? We having a serious discussion over here.
Yeah, we have a very serious discussion, but
Come
they
on
did
now.
agree to team up moving forward. So it'll be interesting to see how Utami feels about that.
So I'm
well.
hoping for like split custody here. You know what I mean? Like 50-50. Utami gets her on weekdays, maybe. On
Utami's currently not Utami. Yuzuki's currently has 3 tag teams now. So
yeah. Kazuna's gonna
we'll see
start
how they
getting
go.
mad for realsies. Yeah, so I love this match. Funniest aspect of it though, however, is my psycho speedrunner over here, Miss Matsui, so ready to get beat up by Mayu Iwatani. She doesn't
That's
even want a
real business,
chance,
though.
bro. She
That's
doesn't even
real
want a
business.
chance. That's insane.
It's gonna be sick, though.
Yeah, no, I'm
Think
excited
about
for
what
the
that
match.
match
Like
is.
that could main event a Korakuen
Yeah,
easily,
I think that
if
will.
they wanted to.
I don't know why
I think they have a
maybe
Shinjuku.
face.
I was gonna say I
on
think
the
they have a
5th.
Shinjuku face in June,
Yeah,
so they'll probably
they
run it
kind
there.
of got this done quick because they only have 3 shows until 2 shows before that. So that was my kind of assumption, is they wanted to
Yeah.
maybe make that main event because they
That
don't have
could be awesome.
Korakuen. They don't have Korakuen until the 17th.
Oh,
So
okay.
Mayu could probably get 2 matches out of that, or if they want to have some big tag on there with her and Yuzuki, they could do that too. But that's the excitement. Mayu Iwatani is now a champion in Marigold, just a whole mathematically 3 weeks after she dropped the IWGP Women's Championship. So
She likes the belt fit. I
she
said this
does like the belt a lot.
right before I fell asleep. I told you it's like if you notice then the knives like retirement stuff, she's wearing it around her waist because it fits her. Unlike the IWGP belt, which she notoriously complained about not fitting her fucking waist. She's like, this belt sucks.
She'll wear around her neck forever.
Yeah.
But next up, we had the Marigold World Championship match with Utami Hayashishita versus MIRAI. Obviously a very important match for I'll say both wrestlers, but especially Utami, I think. Right. A lot of the talk for the past few months since she beat Seri for the belt was, where's Utami? What's her reign all about? The tank matches, whatever. The Bozilla match didn't hit the mark. She needed a match to hit the mark. And I confidently believe MIRAI could be that person. Not only based on the preview tags, but just the way MIRAI has been working really over the past year. She has leveled up in every which way, to a point where not only was she fitting for a big world title match, but she was fitting to be Utami's top challenger at this time. I thought that while it started slow, as you'd expect from an Utami match, they really got going to a point where I thought Mirai did such a great job at, making you believe in her, especially in the closing stretch. That was something that, again, in a title match where I don't expect a title change, I want the challenger to be able to try and convince me.
Yeah.
And I thought she did such a good job at that, right? Hitting the lefty lariat, hitting another one Rainmaker style, and getting those near falls. And Utami's just obviously so very good at pretty much folding when she gets hit by them that you can believe it because of how those pins end up. Utami in the end wins with the what the hell is the move called?
BT
bomb. Yeah,
or
sorry.
or hijack bomb.
I almost said torture rack bomb, and I was like, no, she had two of those though.
It's her better
Which
move that she doesn't win
which were
with.
great. The near fall on the second one was great. Overall, Mirai got her ass kicked in this match. Like she
But
took.
so did Utami though.
Oh, Tommy, of course, Tommy did. Mirai wasn't going to give her a day off.
Like,
and in the end, Utami gets. I thought what still felt not dominant because Mirai made you believe, but a much needed strong win.
Yeah,
for
definitely.
Utami. Winning with the BT bomb, pinning her in the middle of the ring. So yeah, I really enjoyed the match. I think it's Utami's best singles since probably the Dream Star final.
I agree. I have them on similar level.
Yeah, that's probably thinking back. I like the Sari match a lot, but I think I will favor this one just a smidge. Yeah. But yeah, and I think again, Mirai deserves the big title win sooner rather than later. I don't think it's gonna come sooner because she obviously lost here. But to me, and we'll talk about it after the main event, it's very clear who the next Marigold World Champion is. And she won the main event of the show, in my opinion. Well, kind of. The next Marigold World Champion, I should say. There's definitely a possible curveball that we'll talk about here in a second. But how did you guys enjoy the match?
I want to take this one first. Peps, I apologize. Yeah, I fucking loved it, man. Like you know me. I always Andrew said in the chat that it's like people never really want to give Utami credit. I always want to give Utami credit. Like I'm always here for it. I'm always here to be like please prove me right. Yeah, please prove me right, Utami. I'm begging you. And I felt like this was one of those matches where she just did. Because obviously Mirai is great. She's probably the best. She's probably the most informed wrestler in the world right now, and for my money at this point. But you can't. Mirai can't do this without Utami. Like Utami was such a fundamental and important part of this match that I think maybe people won't give her credit for, because Utami's selling was so. Utami, I said it last night.
Couldn't be more alive in this moment. Continue.
Shout out Utami. Utami has had a hard time, a hard go of it with these title matches.
Continue.
Crazy.
Sorry.
Utami's had a hard time with these title matches because she clearly doesn't trust her opponent. No offense to Bozilla, but this is motherfucker, man, Xavier's just trying to get his jokes in, at the expense of my spiel and of Hummingbird. How dare you?
It's real.
Utami has not been able to trust either of her world title opponents fully to have a more, or even Sari. And I think with Sari it was probably more of like just like an unfamiliarity. But I think Utami,
their matches.
Yeah, I think Utami here was very much willing to just be like, you know what, Mirai, let's go 50-50 with this. Like let's like from a layout point of view, this doesn't have to be the Utami match that we've seen a million times before. We could do more unique things and more intricate things because there was a trust there very clearly. So it's like Mirai being able to do the neck cranks and do the neck offense, and then that comes back later when Utami's trying to do the German suplexes. She gets a bridge, she breaks out of the bridge. She hits a German again, she bridges, she gets a 2 count, but that bridge just fucked up her neck even worse, and she's having a hard time. Like just the selling of Utami. Utami clearly just wants to fucking sell. Like that's like the part she likes.
Always.
in wrestling. She likes
Crazy, but
selling, she
true.
likes bumping. And I think without making her look
Oh.
weak or making her look lame, she was really able to sell here, and she let Mirai really like get the best for her in a lot of instances. I really love this match. I also think this could have I think the problem with Utami matches sometimes is that like they feel a bit half cooked. I didn't feel like this was half cooked at all, but I wanted it to go longer just because I wanted to see more. Like I just wanted it to keep going.
This
It
is
wasn't
not
even
an
like
incorrect take. Utami has a match formula, as most wrestlers do.
But to be fair, I think that this match broke it a little bit. It
It
didn't
did.
go
Well, it didn't go 25 minutes, so that was nice.
didn't go 25 minutes, and it also didn't go outside at all. Even like a single
Yeah.
time, that was really cool. Because Utami likes to do one or two spots on the apron or just outside the ring, whatever. That's kind of her forte. So I appreciate that they went for something a little bit different here. Really loved it. And I think Utami really showed out. I think obviously Mirai did too, because Mirai's the best wrestler in the world. But Utami really showed out.
What did you just say?
I said, oh fuck yeah. Okay.
What did you just say?
I said Mirai's probably the best wrestler in the world.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
I was waiting for like a Mayu video
Just
or
making sure.
a picture. Okay.
Just making sure. I was just asking questions. I don't know how that popped up. Oh, wrong picture. My bad. Skipping ahead. That's on me. I'll put that picture. Peps, how did you enjoy the match?
I thought it was great. Like they had a tough spot.
I was about to say you have to like Utami matches because you like Micah matches, and like this is
I like
very
Utami.
similar formula.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right, man.
Yeah,
different wrestlers, but like a big
no.
match formula. Whatever. I like their.
No, they are very similar.
The
they're like too similar.
Yeah, that's true.
At points.
I saw the hair change.
I thought it was great simply because like they had a tough spot because, well, let's be real. If there was any other show, it would have gone like 5 to 10 minutes longer.
Yeah.
But you need to keep at least an hour for Nanae because I don't know if they have like a pay-per-view like closing time when they need to finish up or something. Similar to
if they did, they missed it because that Nanae's
it was like 2 hours
video to the very end was so long and wonderful. So I'm not complaining. It's just. Yeah. But you're right.
Yeah,
no, you're right.
But it was still like they were just a bit over 4 hours. Like that's okay.
Utami's got a great track record in the semi-main. Just saying.
True, she does.
Yeah, she's a great semi. Well, the only white belt match she had, like that was like a real epic, was like not good, but that's another thing. The Sion match.
Wait. Well, that was a good match.
No.
Oh, interesting point by Andrew. I don't think you're that far off. I mean, she doesn't have
I agree.
Ozawa, so that helps. Continue.
Like
Ozawa's in the other company.
Utami has it really tough in general right now. I feel like whenever she does something good, people don't give the credit for. Like, she's not the only Joshi wrestler that has that. I think a lot of Joshi wrestlers, especially in Stardom, Marigold has that. Trying to come up. I think Mirai is similar. Like,
is that who you're hinting at?
Yeah.
No, it's talk about Micah without even knowing it.
And you're talking to me, so like it's especially directed at me. I understand.
No. Like I wasn't directly in Micah, but she's
one of them. Like I understand your point.
Like some of them have like really tough, but none of them have it as tough in Utami. I feel like Utami, like she had a great match against Seri. I think it was better than at least one of the Venue Mako matches, and people like really went rough on it, and I don't get it to this point. Like I get it on the Baszilla match. I think it was in comparison to the Baszilla versus Seri match, even though it was a completely different layout. Like I can understand that you say, okay, But this against Mirai, it was like 16, 17 minutes, and they went away from like 100% of the time just Utami just swamping and then doing her typical comebacks to okay, we just beat each other up. Like it felt like
50-50 in
not only that, but also like
pacing.
It was like the Dreamstar match, but it had the extra 5 minutes that the Dreamstar match was missing, in my opinion. And that was made the match really good, in my opinion. And I think they can be proud of it, and it's a match Utami can build on. Like I think her next defense will be tough because Iroha's not the next one. Looking at it, Mayu's out because she has the other belt.
Momino! Mio Momino!
Yeah, but she'd
be a great opponent.
She has no harm. I think we are walking.
Hey, I saw her
clubbing Nanae in the goddamn head, bro. I think she has 2 arms.
Who is your pitch though for next? I do want to hear that. Not you, Dylan. Peps.
I don't want to sound like I
would say Kouki Amarei.
I wanted to throw Yuzuki.
Oh, I mean, I'm not gonna say no. Listen. Sayaka Karaka. I'm sorry.
Like for me, it's Yuzuki or Seri, and one of them just lost to the presumably July challenger. So like Yuzuki it is.
I think Utami is one to give Yuzuki.
Well, actually, they should call him Makoto.
Well, I mean, obviously,
yeah,
she was there.
Speaking of Makoto, I'm just gonna bring Xavier in now.
Makoto squashing Utami.
Mana.
God,
hi Xavier.
Xavier, love this business, man.
Xavier doesn't like Utami, so we're gonna get that out of the way.
No. You're wrong.
You don't like Utami singles matches. My apologies.
I like the one today though. The one today was good.
Well, that was the question. Did you enjoy this one at least?
Yeah.
I know you're dreading this matchup that is on the screen.
I don't think anybody understands these two at Sumo Hall is like one of the worst big Joshi singles matches of the modern era.
It was Osaka Hall, please.
Oh yeah.
It was
one of the halls. It was one of the. It was one of the.
That was bad. Yeah.
It was very, very bad. However,
I'm
gonna give it a chance.
It's an interesting matchup because I think Utami is better now.
Thank you for the shout. Continue.
But Takumi Takumi is worse.
I think it's okay. I think it's different because
but I think they could click better now.
Takumi and
but we're here to pop ourselves at this
Takumi
point.
and Marigold's different because she's not having the 50-50 epics that turn out really bad. See the first Mako match she had last year. And Marigold, it's much different. She is limiting what makes a lot of her singles these days not interesting and sometimes just bad. She's more of a bully whenever she's in Marigold. I think this could be good if she just sticks to I'm the outsider. I am not going to try to go for epics. I am just going to try to straight kill.
That's true. That's what it should be. I agree. I would like to hear from people in chat. Are you excited for Takumi versus Utami? Or let me rephrase. Are you as excited as Utami for Takumi versus Utami? Because I have never, well, I have. As someone reminded me, there was a certain match that was announced last year for
Utami someone said that to me.
A little bit more excited. But this was genuine excitement, and she was kind of goofy. It was kind of crazy. I was like, okay, Takumi's right in the ring, like, easy. But Takumi, like, just being like, I got to do something first, but I will beat your ass later. Which hear
me out. Hear me out. We make a trade. Takumi gets the red belt. Mayu gets the 3AW.
That's real.
Just randomly, just Mayu, just
yeah.
Tommy gets squat.
They trade. They don't even have a match. They just trade.
Navy just really badly wants Mayu to hold that belt.
I do. I really do. I just want her to stack pad and just be like, yeah.
I had this belt. Yeah, no. Again.
I'm trying to keep building her GOAT case as much as I can. So
everyone is excited. Not as much as Utami, but they are into Takumi. Listen. I pitched on this show once upon a time. I don't remember when, but as was mentioned, I did. Thank you. I did nail the prediction. I don't remember when I said that, but I did say it. Probably just on the show that I did this week.
So,
but I think there is a possibility that Takumi Iroha wins the Marigold World.
That's what I was gonna ask. I was like, "What y'all feeling?" Because I'm thinking she wins, and then we get somebody who was in one of the main events. She was technically supposed to be in the main event, then things happen. Winning a certain tournament and getting her big moment at a certain show in October, bringing the belt home. I think that's the most natural story, the most correct story. However, I could see a point of, okay, well, this Utami reign kind of just is actually kicking off now.
Right.
And that's the part that scares me.
It's first of all that, and second of all, Iroha's not main eventing sumo. And also,
Seri main evented the third.
Yeah.
I think, in a similar case to last year,
maybe there's bigger matches.
I was going to say, I think bigger matches. I think they're banking on getting Takashi Sugiura for this show, and it's just the aspect of having those big names.
Sugiura and Seri in a mixed tag against whoever the fuck.
No, to respect what Peps is saying, I do think you want to probably have your big tournament winner main event the show.
Yeah.
Too. So I think that is important.
Also, I just think the Sumo Hall is probably going to be the climax of Marigold versus Marvelous. Because I think that's just the end goal.
I think what Xavier and Scott were alluding to more so is that they'll have a draw for that show probably. So I don't think if you have exactly. But no, I think if you think Takumi struggles to be a draw in like a main event, I think they'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
In the same way that it's like not to bring up other companies, but like I don't think anybody's worried about fucking.
You also got to remember
John Moxley when Omega Okada's happening. You know what I mean?
Like,
who cares?
You got to remember that Mayu has been a legit needle mover for the company since she signed on.
True.
I don't expect that to stop. She's just going to keep winning. I don't expect that to stop.
Yeah.
There's a lot there. I'll say this. There's a lot there. There's a lot of ideas there. I could just see Utami Miku main eventing that show very easily because that is a match they have protected. That is a very heavily protected match. But I do think there is some fun or excitement or drama that comes with Takumi taking the title. We know Rossi's not afraid to give the title to an outsider. He already did it once. Why not do it twice?
And it's not like it's going to be Utami's last run with the belt. She's here forever.
No. So we'll see. But I think that's the excitement.
But you all agree that the match should happen before the Dream Star, right?
Definitely.
Because I feel like the only problem with this is I don't like this kind of we will do it later because it
puts it in
basically tells you everything that happens right now with Utami doesn't matter because we're gonna run the Iroha match. So I hope they get it out of the way quickly. And I think what's going to happen
July 16th is my call.
Iroha has a announced challenge against a title defense against Nagashima, but Nagashima has the Jake Lee injury, the orbital bone thing. So I don't know if she will wrestle, but I think they want to get the Marvelous belt off her, and then she loses to Utami the month later. So July 16th might be.
It is possible she just is I want to do something, and she just fights Mayu in a Marvelous versus Marigold tag first, and then just the singles right away.
That was kind of my thinking too. I know I kind of joked that Miyamoto should challenge, but I was that was a half joke in that I could 100% see Takumi being well, I wanted to bring my homegirl into the fight first, and
but then they would just send it Senka. They are insane enough to put Senka in a red belt match.
I don't think they are. I think Senka is a loser.
Send in my goat Ihos on.
Yeah, but Senka is also the one that was in Mako and Nanae's post-retirement match.
Okay, I think we're getting a little too crazy there.
The thing about Senka is I could see Rossi want to. I don't know if Nagaya would.
I could see Senka challenging for the white belt, but putting Senka in a main event singles match is not happening.
I mean, I'm in, bro. I'm not saying I'm against it.
But they are insane enough to see her to do anything.
Who's they? Rossi, yes. Chigusa.
Yeah, Chigusa turned. she turned Noriko heel, so she's also insane enough. She fed
Miyamoto to Ozaki for like 6 months. So I mean,
that's true.
She's done crazier.
All right, let's get to the main event.
I'm dreading this, man.
Nanae Takahashi versus Miku Aono. Nanae's final match, Final Passion. And boy, oh boy, was it Final Passion. I know that there's obviously two parts to this. We'll get to the gauntlet and the ceremony and all that, but we will focus on the match first. I was really just blown away at how great Miku was specifically. I knew Nanae was going to be great, and I've been unbelievable for what, the past year since she jumped into Marigold, right? She led by example. She brought everyone up with her and gave truly everything she had left in pro wrestling to this promotion. Miku Aono has done a great job in her first year, right? She closed out the first show, Marigold Fields Forever, on the microphone. She then was the inaugural United National Champion. But even still, against some people's hearts, this still felt like the moment for her, the liftoff to superstardom. That's why she got this match. That's why once Julia was out of the question, they went with her. And boy, oh boy, did she crush it. This, I thought, comfortably Miku Aono's best match I've ever seen her in. I thought comfortably one of the best matches I've seen this year in terms of the emotional, the physicality. They just brought everything. They brought everything to this match, and it couldn't have been a more Nanae match. I said this earlier to you. The beauty of, I think, the Tam and Nanae retirement matches, whether you love them or hate them, because obviously Nanae and Tam have their supporters and haters, their matches couldn't have been more them to the very end. And Nanae kicking out of not one, but two Styles clashes and then losing to her, essentially her second finisher.
Yeah.
That was perfect. It was perfect. And I will say this, when she kicked out of the second Styles clash, I was just like, oh, that was that last, like, I have one more kick out in me. And essentially Miku had to kick her head off and finish it off once or for all. But Miku is incredible because, again, she is someone who, you know, I think people look at the actress girls thing one way or the other, but she came in against Nanae, a legend who spanned all the way back to All Japan Women's, and absolutely undeniably crushed it and became a star in the process. Xavi, I will let you go first. What was your thoughts about this one?
Don't know if there was a more perfect way for Nanae to go out. I mean, the gauntlet definitely was another way for that. But as far as one last big singles match, this was Nanaeism to its core. This was her leaving everything she had left in her system out there. She didn't take it light. This was her last big singles show. She was going all out, and it was up to Miku to step up to her level, and she did that and then some. Nanae is just such a special pro wrestler. Like, people who dislike Nanae concern me. I wonder if everything's okay with them, if they need a hug or something. Yeah. Because she's so good. And listen, obviously she just beats everyone. This is what she does, but she's earned that. She legit gave every last fiber of her being for this 1 year of establishing Marigold for what it is. Like, we saw her get injured at the end of last year, getting dropped on her head, and she still gave a good couple months to have a proper singles with basically the whole roster, do a bunch of stuff in a bunch of companies just to say goodbye. She legit Like you could see it in the gauntlet when Momoi goes for the Momo latch. Her body legit broke down in real time over this past year, and she did not let that deter her. Like she still gave it her all. She was going until she absolutely couldn't anymore, and that's exactly what she did. This match was an example of that.
She had 36 matches this year.
Yeah, insane.
She had 51
insane.
Total last year.
Yeah, and a lot of those like were singles, and they went a good amount of time. So legit just gave her all to pro wrestling into Marigold. And I think this match not only is special just for at least for me, Miku's true ascent into the Marigold main event scene, and just to show that not only was she entrusted with this big honor, but she was able to live up to that, and she was able to surpass that. But it's just the culmination for what this company was founded on, and the fact that Nanae's teachings are going to live on forever because of what goes on in this roster that she trained from day one. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. I loved everything about this match. I actually loved the fact that Nanae was like, all right, I'm not listening to Styles Clash. I like Bobby Roode. I'm not rocking with that. And losing to her own secondary finish. You just can't say that isn't Nanae to the core. That's just it's just Nanae to the core.
And I think I just want to say Andrew does make a good point. Like you see, like when Nanae gets in the ring, it's like, okay, gotta get everything going here. And that's kind of how our matches go. But once they get going, it's just like
once that adrenaline hits, it's over.
It's incredible. It's incredible. I mean, I can't applaud Nanae enough for her final year. She had so many matches in her since May of last year. She had more matches than she pretty much had the 3 years prior combined. Like that was her final year. She gave every ounce of herself to this promotion, and I feel like she had all the right matches too, in terms of matches you wanted to see, right? She had the match with Mayu right when Mayu comes in. I think that obviously was very important. She has the match with Seri last week, very important. And then she goes in here with Miku, and Miku is one of the very few that get a pinfall over Nanae in that final year. It's a very short list, right? It's Utami, it's Mayu, it's Bozilla,
Seri.
and it's now Seri Yamaoka as well.
Sari. I meant
Sari as well, yes. Well, both of them technically did get pinfalls, but
I mean, there was one more match she should have had, but I'm not going to talk about it because I'm getting mad again.
But I think they did such a really just a fantastic job at finishing Nanae's career while also elevating someone else's, and I think that can be so difficult. In a retirement match, especially with someone like Nanae who can be overbearing in a nice way. Like she is Nanae, right? Hummingbird did pin her. That did happen.
Tommy was there for it.
Yeah,
Tommy was there for it.
Also, coming off the heels of Mako's retirement,
I threw that up, by the way.
Had to believe there was a glimmer of hope that Nanae was just going to win.
Yeah, I mean,
so
honestly,
that was a lot of this
100%.
match. That was a lot of this match for me. I was like, damn, she's really kicking her ass. She's really kicking her ass, Sam. How? Damn, is she gonna let her win? She's really kicking her ass. Because I mean, like, and I think a big part of this, and I'll probably talk about this more ad nauseum on Stormquest this week, but I think a big thing about Nanae is that it's like her looking at the difference between now and 3 years ago, like the Momo match with her return to Stardom.
Oh God.
Shut up. But looking at the difference in feeling for Nanae amongst the smart Joshi fan, it's pretty night and day. The 7-Up run, obviously. Yeah, but the 7-Up run obviously very much like rehabilitated her image after some early like annoyance with a lot of people that she beat Momo so easily, and that it was
she angered the right people.
Yeah, but but now it's like you look at her, and this past year is one of the best retirement years of a wrestler you will ever see. You know, like she has been she's the wrestler of the year right now, for me. And last year she had a tremendous year as well. Like she was a top 10 wrestler of the year last year as well. As far as I'm concerned, maybe 15 if you want to be technical, but like really, like she was one of the best last year as well. Like this is such a incredible final year. And then this match, you know, like I was thinking about beforehand. Obviously, Miku said she wants to knock her out. She did not get to knock her out, but I was thinking the funniest possible way to go is Nanae knocking Miku out, because that would just be really funny. But once I was in the match watching it, I was like, there was a feeling of just like every pinfall mattered. Either way it was, you know, whether Nanae was pinning Miku or Miku was pinning Nanae, I really didn't know. And I really appreciated that until the finish. And obviously the 1 second EX was very clearly the finish once Miku called for it and she hit it. And it was just a beautiful moment, a beautiful match. Great stuff.
To shout out my my guy Murphs here, the Brilliant Futures Red Belt Pursuit can now begin. Talked about him with this. Miku is
a lot.
So yeah, but she is like, so she is very short. Like she is not tall whatsoever on this roster, but she is so strong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like she just posed there with Nanae on her shoulders. It's like, what? Oh, all right, okay. So shout out to her again. She's incredible. Miku is like, you look at Marigold, like what's one of the biggest wins of this promotion being a thing, and I don't know how you don't say Miku Aono just becoming bigger than she was. Sorry, actress girls fans. Not really that sorry. Peps, how'd you like the match?
Yeah, I can just pretty much repeat what the others said. I think that was like the perfect way for Nanae to go out, simply because you just notice it, like everything they did in this match, like literally everything was just Nanae. Like, and that is something you need in a retirement match, just to make it feel like it's one. Like there are many retirement matches, especially like more in the US, and so where like retirement matches just don't feel like retirement matches, but they are just normal matches. But Joshi in general are really good at making retirement matches special, and this one was like maybe the best we have seen in terms of like straight up in-ring action. Like if we counted emotional stuff, you know, then I will likely
watch out the Tam shoe.
Tam one, yes. But in terms of like straight up in-ring work, that was likely the best we've seen in a while. And that was not only because of Nanae, but also because of Aono. Like Rossi and Nanae, I don't know who it was. One of them said, we tried to get Julia.
Yeah.
Whoever in WWE said no. Whoever in WWE said no is my favorite promoter whatever of all time.
Well,
like,
she had to debut on SmackDown and be compared to Tamina.
Yeah. She had to wrestle Zelina Vega so bad, I think it was. Zelina Vega and somebody else.
Charlotte no-sold her. That was pretty funny. But Aono's like the 10 times better pick that you could have chosen, because in my opinion, like we will talk about it, like, but you pretty much created a top star now that might, I wouldn't say she will, because it's Utami.
Nah,
she's definitely getting the red belt within.
Yes, but I don't know if she's getting it at
I think by the end of the year.
Yep.
That's my prediction.
She is going to be the first wrestler who is winning white and red, like pretty sure in this company. Like, and that is something I would have said 2 months ago. Like Alex was pretty much worried that she's going to get Momo'd.
Yeah, well, this is why we don't have to watch for the opinions anymore.
But to be fair, until this match, I was kind of, maybe not similar, maybe not Momo.
I agree.
But I felt like are we sure that Miku is going to be the first red and white belt holder this soon into the company's run? Like it feels like a huge accolade for Miku to get so quickly. But then I watched this match and I was like, no, yeah, that's right. That's the correct.
When they started heating her up with those random singles, shouts out to big kids at Corkin. When they started heating her up with those random singles, I was like, all right, something is happening. I don't know what,
yes,
but something's happening.
But also, like, I would say, even looking back, that she got the white belt in the first place was a pretty big shock. Like, everyone expected Mirai to just win it. And I think it would have been the logical choice to give Mirai the belt, and Miku just has a bit of run, like tries to get it, then wins it. But they decide to go all in with Miku, and now you have her in a situation where you can logically put her in a Super Bowl main event.
Yeah, I don't think I need to explain this because it's very clear, but they have been high on her since day one, which is very apparent. She is someone who has, up until Mayu showed up, been the top merch seller in the company, which is a big deal. Like, that has been consistently said on essentially every live broadcast where she wrestles. It's like, she is the top seller, she's the top she has the longest lines, yada yada yada. That has consistently been that way. Sorry to the Miku fans that that's now over, but she's still one of them. She's number 2. Number 2 is not a bad thing, but that matters, obviously. And if she's bringing people there that are supporting her and becoming fans of her, you have to keep going with her. I think Peps does make the good point. Like, when she won the United National title, it was a shock for sure. Like, Bozil and Mirai both felt more favored in that spot. But when she won, you couldn't argue against it. And I'll even say this. I was very up and down with Miku's title reign in that spot. But at the same time, I never doubted that she was only just going to get better and better. And I feel like we've seen her now take another step in her overall growth. And when she's putting on a match like this against someone like Nanae, and not only standing in there and fighting her to the fullest, but bringing it to her, you just know that this is someone that can carry a company as world champion sooner rather than later. This really did feel like this past year was the build up. This is now she's ready, we're going. It's just a matter of when, not if. And I think that's what's so exciting if you are a Miku fan, if you're a Marigold fan overall, because I don't know how you watch Miku and aren't excited, because she's just so great at this. And, the fact that she was ultimately Nanae's retirement opponent. I know the gauntlet happens, which is a wonderful thing as well. But she was the retirement opponent, and she won. And they had that moment, as you're seeing, they hugged everything. You could see Miku with a smile on her face. She wasn't upset that impromptu gauntlet happened. She was as happy as could be, and rightfully so, because whether it's at Korakuen Hall, whether it's at Sumo Hall, whatever it may be, she's becoming world champion. It's just a matter of how long can they wait, rather than that's the real question. Can they wait till October with her? You got to keep her busy, because I think her and a tag team partner are a thing that would make a lot of sense right now. I've been saying that since she lost the United National title, but you want to keep her busy. And I think that's another important part, and that'll be the exciting part. But any final thoughts about Miku before we pivot to more Nanae?
Real quick, her taking the move, the 1 second EX, is awesome. As much as I love the Styles Clash, I think that's the move that's going to win her the red belt. And I think it's kind of super symbolic, you know what I mean? That Miku's going to get the 3rd red belt in Joshi history using a move from someone who only got the first 2. But one of the only people to ever get the first 2, if not the only person to get the first 2. I think that's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But let's continue with Nanae Takahashi. After the match, she says she's not done, and you get an impromptu gauntlet match that features Senka Akatsuki, Seri Yamaoka, Kouki Amarei, Yumika Hoda, and Momo Nakanishi. this got me good. This was the first of like, oh shit, man. Like they do the shoot pin and then she actually gets her, and I was like, oh man, okay. I don't know how long this gauntlet's gonna go, but that was amazing. And then of course her and Hoda just hugs her and lets her pin her, and I was like, man, this is not easy. It doesn't have to be this emotional, but they made sure it was. And then of course Momo Nakanishi, as I said, like I don't remember which one of you said it. I think it was Xavi, where by the end of this, like
she just couldn't take that Momo latch. It just
no, and in the end, I do like that she ended up pinning her. I thought that was great.
I think Momo was 100% supposed to be
her.
Oh,
she was, because they announced her as the winner, but then I said, you know what, this isn't happening.
She's like, you know what, I should win. You're right. And she hit it, and it was great. And I love the farewell.
Nanae goes out on top. Nanae goes out on top. That's what it's all about.
Exactly. She took pins to the young wrestlers and pinned the old wrestlers. I don't think anyone has a problem with that.
I do.
Sorry.
Sanka just jumping her was also.
Yeah, Sanka just running out there and be like, "What if I'm in another retirement impromptu match?"
And so like she was so aggro.
Word on the street is she was behind the curtain at Stardom when Tam was retired, and she was ready to beat her ass up too. She was ready to start shoot pinning her on the floor when the
lights
no.
When they were doing the cinema ending, she was gonna come out and pin both her and Saya.
Nobody saw it. The lights went out, and she just jumped her and took her out off the stage.
Yeah, but the gauntlet was a beautiful thing. I think that is a great point. Nanae putting over Miku and still finding a way to go out with a win so perfectly. Nanae, that's just the truth. That's just the truth. That's passion. No word better describes it. And then, of course, you get to the ceremony of who's who. By the way, like you have the roster, Kazuna just crying the biggest crocodile tears you've ever seen because that's what she does.
Did you get a picture of Hummingbird pinning her?
No, I didn't get a picture of Hummingbird pinning her. Right. I appreciate your only worry ever, though, is all.
I want to see Hummingbird.
Motherfuckers were jumping her during the ceremony. Like Tanny Mouse just like win at her. I was like, what the fuck?
Yoshiko tomorrow that good. She almost gave it a mount cook. It was over, buddy.
I was like,
that was so funny though. To be fair,
and Tachibana once again outshining Ryoko Sakamura by slapping.
This is what I meant, by the way. She did this twice. She did it when she announced her time. She did it in the ceremony. Shout out Big Kiss. The most emotional person you've ever seen. Takumi absolutely losing it got me. Like I was like, man, you kind of forget that Takumi's big softy because she, an hour and a half ago was killing a poor rookie. And she's like,
she be doing bits out of this is very random. She be doing bits. She walks up to random foreign wrestlers and just kicks them and slaps her thighs super hard and like, what the fuck just happened? Like backstage, she won't actually kick them, but she'll she'll jump scare them with a kick.
This was great. This made me super happy just seeing the OGs of Stardom stand together. Yuzupon looks like she could step in there tomorrow and just be peak.
No, hasn't she had had a kid?
Yeah, she hasn't aged a day though.
Dylan, who are you to limit a mother, man? She can do whatever she wants.
No, that's why. Okay, calm down. No, but that's why she probably wasn't on the she didn't have like a spot in like the retirement gauntlet or like any of the road stuff.
I imagine feel like it. Maybe it was.
I imagine if she wasn't literally postpartum as of like a month ago, she probably would have.
That would have been crazy if she was in there. Would have been awesome. But great post. Toyota was there, which was pretty crazy. Toyota doesn't do any of these things.
Yeah, man. Yeah. She just kind of hangs out at home.
Tsukasa Fujimoto was there. I know some.
Scooch?
Yeah, that was crazy too.
Oh, that was. I did not recognize her for a second. I was like,
I know a lot of people wished Arisa Nakajima and Taiyo that they did send flowers though.
Yeah.
Shuri and FWC sent flowers. Yeah, that's more important. Shuri and FWC sent flowers. Io, Kairi, Julia, not Asuka.
Shout out Daily with getting all our hopes up.
Yeah, that was a good one. Not my hopes up. At all. But yeah, it was amazing. And then this is the image that still breaks me. That was the one that I was like, okay, I'm done. We're good. We can call it. We're good. I don't know. This was just such a perfectly
For me, it was the
done
mom.
ceremony.
It was Nanae's mom.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Mhm.
Oh, if
in
we're
a
talking
way,
about what broke us, Momoe just coming out, I was bawling.
yeah,
I was bawling
that's
my eyes
fair.
out.
This didn't break
There-
me, but I thought it was the peak of pro wrestling. Buki Hoshi's child was so confused about what was going on. He was forced into the picture.
Yeah. Just a truly a beautiful ending scene. That I feel like ultimately this is my favorite picture from it all. She said the passion commandments. I can't stress this enough how much wrestling is gonna miss Nanae Takahashi, how much I'm gonna miss Nanae Takahashi. I said this to I might have said this on one of my shows. I don't really remember anymore because I talk so much. That's me dissing myself, so it's fine. If you told me 3 or 4 years ago that I would be this emotionally distraught at Nanae retiring, I probably wouldn't have believed you.
You said
But
it on one of
holy
your shows.
shit.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dylan. I appreciate you paying attention for me.
Mm.
But my God, this retirement hit me maybe the hardest, and it helps. It was the third of a month as well. I know Tam did her way or whatever. But it was a retirement, and then Mako, and now this one, and the way they did it, it was just everything, and it was perfect.
And I once again going on top, best retirement.
Yeah,
Certainly the best match. Certainly the best retirement match of the three.
it was incredible. It was incredible.
Yeah.
All great in their
Oh, great.
own
Yeah,
way.
100%.
All very fitting of the wrestlers that were retiring too, which I thought was great. But yeah, I thought Nanae absolutely crushed it. I hope a lot of people enjoyed it. If you like Nanae, you didn't like Nanae before Marigold, I feel like her past year alone had to win you over. I don't know how it wouldn't have. I know some people that, were Stardom fans and they watched Nanae do the passion injection matches. They're like, I don't know, these don't work as well for me. But once she got to Marigold, that's my dog, so I'm gonna have to stop them. But once she got to Marigold, it worked better. Yes, of course. But I'm gonna let you guys talk. I'm gonna make sure my dog stops barking.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I think at some point, and I like not to just shit on people who don't like Nanae, but I think at some point in Stardom, I don't quite remember when it was, because it wasn't the Momo match, as I kind of alluded to earlier. I hated Nanae for that Momo match for quite a bit, like for a good like year or so. I was really upset, with the way that match went down, but by the time she returned, I think it was for the Shuri match.
That
No,
was awesome.
it was before that. It was the Nana Kairi match and then the Shuri match. It was that 1-2 punch. Both great matches. And then she came back for Tag League and all that. That was when, like I said, kind of like you start to realize that like Nanae has something that most wrestlers don't.
Passion.
Like,
sorry.
Yeah.
it might be passion.
Might be.
But she has that. Well, it's probably more things too. But she has that to the point where,
I guess, have passion.
Yeah, I think she just has such a unique way of wrestling, and you even saw it with the Miku match, where it's like the match was not like this this technical masterclass. Like there were several points where I was like, did she just concuss her? You didn't have to do that.
Real.
Like you didn't have to do like that was not that was very minimal. You yielded very minimal return on investment in that move. You just killed her and it didn't even look that good. That's awesome. But there's something so intangible about Nanae that has just been further proven in the past year that it's just I don't know. She's very much going to be missed. There's so many retirements in wrestling that while you're going to miss the wrestler, it's not going to impact your active enjoyment for wrestling because there's so many great wrestlers out there. You know what I mean? Or in the case of a Mako, she's already kind of retired for the past like 4 years. She's came back and had a crazy run, but we've experienced life without Mako for years. Nanae has made herself such an integral part of Joshi wrestling over the past 2 years. Since her return to Stardom, maybe 3 years since her return to Stardom, I think it was. That it's really hard to picture a world without her in the ring. Alex always makes fun of me for my famous quote of the best wrestling makes you
fun of you. Period. But
yes, always makes fun of me, but also quotes me on my famous quote of the best wrestling makes you feel things, and it's Nanae. Like that's just Nanae. Like I might have said it regarding something way worse and something way less
if
less
you just
meaningful.
watch the first year of this company, you can sense that because they go to the areas that are just like dead, but as soon as Nanae comes out, energy just changes.
Yeah. They're yelling passion. Like it's just she can invigorate you. You know what I mean? She can really like move you.
The best way I like to I'll just say this to follow that up. In wrestling, I think you have your few favorites that make you as Dylan said, make you feel something emotionally and connect. And even if I feel like even if Nanae is not, say, your favorite wrestler, she still managed to get you there. And I think that's a credit to how great she truly was. And again, how much she will be missed. And I think, again, I didn't say this, but my favorite part of the Miku match is fucking half the roster being out there to cheer her on. I was like, this is crazy. Like everyone is out here trying to cheer on Nanae as if they know, as if they don't know she's done after that. Like she's not going to just keep going. And I think that's the beauty of pro wrestling, and that's the beauty of the retirement match, especially in Japan, is your career isn't over until that final bell rings, and everyone's going to give everything, including the wrestler themselves, to enjoy it and appreciate it. And it was as special of an ending as I could have asked for her. Honestly,
everybody reciting the Passion Commandments also was beautiful.
Yeah, that was great. And seeing the roster, just how much she meant to all of them. She even begrudgingly gave Nanae a Chicago hug. Which was very funny.
So sorry about that tag run, buddy. Sorry.
That was funny. But just again, when her being gone is gonna be felt, but at the same time, she was the perfect bridge to Mayu in many ways. Right now, Mayu will take that veteran presence.
Yes and no. Obviously, Nanae's overall presence, but like I said, I think the biggest thing for this company was getting her from the jump because her pro wrestling is just ingrained into this entire roster.
Yes,
whether they were new trainees or just wrestlers coming from other places, she has injected them with passion. Like they live with her pro wrestling now.
They do.
Sonny said this in commentary, and I think that is also like the biggest difference between her and Mayu. It's like not a shot against Mayu, but just the role Mayu is in is completely different. Like Sonny said pretty much that people always complained about Nanae being like being in the spots against all these young wrestlers, but for these young wrestlers, a match against Nanae Takahashi is a big thing, and many of them like stepped up their games big time against Nanae and have, in my opinion, maybe some of the best matches. Or it was especially in Stardom where the passion injection often was used as the final step before the wrestler wins something. It was the case, of course, Waka is the best example for that, who got her first win over Nanae. She was also someone who posted something. Another one is a shout out to her because she nearly won the belt with the refrigerator bomb today. Ruaka, like she was someone that always like stepped up the game when she was facing Nanae, and even uses a lot of some of her moves even to the state, or like some of her influence. Saida was one who had a singles match and won a belt the next show after, and May Sarah, all of them. Like that is something that Nanae makes. Like Nanae goes into ring with anyone, and her role is it to make them better. Mayu's role now is going to be, okay, she wants to be on top herself. Like, that is the difference that they used to have, and will create a new dynamic with the roster now, because now they don't have someone who is willing to give them the chance. Now they need to earn the chances, and that is something that in the storyline itself can be very interesting in the future.
Yeah, Nanae set them up for that.
Yeah,
set them up to now earn it.
Piggyback off of that, like anybody who like views Nanae as this person who just takes and doesn't give, obviously has not watched this company since the inception, because Nanae's favorites in this company are very, very clear. She does not hide that. She lets that be known. And these people have gradually not only improved, but have gone into bigger spots. And you have to imagine that's because of her going, hey, they're ready for this next step. They've earned this. They're ready to take that leap. And that's just something a lot of people just wouldn't know if they have not followed this company. Like, I think from the outside, it's easy to go, oh, she just, beats people. She takes and she doesn't give. But if you're really locked in, Nanae's probably been the most giving person since this company started.
Yeah, and if you look like who she put over too, like she put over Bozilla the Random Koenigsegg. Like, it was a ref stoppage, but still, like that is something Nanae doesn't need to do. Like, she could have said no.
I will say this: I don't think Nanae disappears. Like, she's not going to go away. She may not be in the ring, but
I think she'll be around.
She is as part of Marigold as anyone, right? They're just sad that, like you guys are talking about, they're not going to be able to now go in there and prove themselves against someone like her. And now they do have to earn it, which is a different dynamic, like Pep said, but I think an exciting dynamic for what is next, right? You saw this roster throughout the night step up. You saw this roster show, all right, we're going to be fine when Nanae's gone. And now it's time to earn that and show that moving forward.
I think it's great you put this picture up, because I think the number one prospect for that is Seri. She's now, she doesn't have the tag team to rely on. Now it's just her out into the wild. Time to make her strides on her own.
Absolutely.
You gotta throw in Go Chica's there as well, because a lot of Go Chica stuff like pretty much built with the whole passion thing. Like, less than Seri, but also a lot. And Yamaoka is going to have it way easier than her. Like, she's a super rookie. She's going to get her way into the big spots one way or the other. But Go Chica needs to earn it, and she doesn't have the Nanae support, at least on screen, anymore. Like, I don't know what Nanae has in backstage influence. I would imagine she will at least be some kind of coach still, because I don't think she has anything to do in life.
That's crazy.
No, I could imagine her having a Chigusa role.
Yes.
In that, obviously
She
not the
shows up in her
commentary.
expensive car and be like, hey.
Yeah, shows up in her expensive car, kind of like sits in the back and is just like, don't do that. Like, that's sort of thing. Like the, I don't know. I hope that she's still around. Sunny did mention that, for now at least, Utami has offered to take over her role as the head coach with MIRAI. I expect Mayu to kind of get in on that as she acclimates more. But yeah, so that's it. I hope she's still around in the production aspect. But yeah, she will be missed in ring for sure.
But that is Nanae Takahashi. Whether you hated her or loved her, boy oh boy, this was perfect. And anyone that doesn't feel that way, just go see the Jordan Patu tweet.
We're actually making shirts and we're giving them out.
But the show did not end there. You got one final scene of the entire roster that will be moving forward. I think it's one hell of a roster. I'm very excited about this roster, and they made sure, let's leave with one more announcement. That, of course, is Grand Destiny 2025, October 26th. Ryogoku Sumo Hall, the return, as the tweet said. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Has anybody gotten mad about... Oh, it said a spectacular showdown of destiny. That's the word.
Yes, that is the motto for that show. So
I wonder who that's about. Has
Let's
anybody
get
gotten
Chico
mad that
winning the big belt.
they're using the word grand again?
They should have
What-
said
what-
Grand, as in Grand Guerrero.
I agree. Because
What do you
Stardom does
mean?
the grand. Because
Oh,
their yearly big show is Grand Queendom.
Well, this is Destiny,
Grand
buddy.
Destiny.
Well, it's moving on from what Summer Destiny, so
Yeah.
whatever, it's
Yeah.
fine. It's Grand Destiny. It's the step up. That is funny though. But obviously very exciting. That's the next big pay per view. Before that will be the Dreamstar sometime, which is always exciting, and plenty of Corkins to go. But that is Marigold celebrating their first year
See that
in
right there?
Go Chica.
Go Chica, Seto, and I think that's Taichibana. That's
That's
Congo
Taichibana.
right there. That's Congo right there. You see the fist?
Mosh pit. Mosh pit.
I just want to applaud everyone, obviously, from this roster. Now it's going to be
They killed
exciting
it.
where we go. I can't wait to see the next match cards for next weekend and beyond. It's still, admittedly, it's still surreal to just see Mayu here, because she's only been here for a month, not even. She's been here for 4 matches, 3 dates total. So it'll be fun to see how they grow from here. But I'm very excited about the future. I'm very excited about this show. I hope everyone enjoyed this show. I hope everyone enjoyed this review. Any final thoughts before we get out of here? We'll start with Xavi. Final thoughts regarding Marigold, Nanae's retirement, and Shine Forever 2025.
This for me, other than honestly, I think I like this show more than Summer Destiny because obviously it didn't have the highs of the EO match. The main event was quite bad, and that wasn't somebody's fault. It was somebody else's fault. I think this is like
Tamina's? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I think this is legit the slam dunk home run pay-per-view of Marigold's entire existence. Top to bottom, everything went well. I think the whole roster stepped up. They had something to prove. They wanted to give their all for Nanae. This is, for me, the best show in company history. I loved every bit of it. It's hard not to be excited after watching how this roster performed here. And this picture is symbolic because this was after, Nanae had her send off because, while Nanae might be retired, this roster, this core is still chugging along, and they're going to do their best to keep building off of this show and keep building Marigold's momentum heading into the summer and, of course, on the road to Sumo Hall. If there's just one thing I want to say before I let the others say what they need to say is I hope to God I never see this Yuzuki hair again. Okay.
Well, yeah, Yuzuki is crazy. But the funny thing is, she pulled it off better than most people could, and she pulls it off terribly. Like that's the hilarious thing. Most people with her hair, I mean, yeah, I mean, I agree with Xavi. This was the home run that Marigold's been looking for, biggest home run since Fields Forever, which also felt like kind of like that show that like really, gave them a momentous burst. I'm hoping that every year their anniversary is this good because this really just kind of like tells you why Marigold rules. You know what I mean? Like I'm really happy with this roster. And what they've been able to produce lately. Obviously, everything keeps going. 2 days from now, we got Mayu on Monday Magic. Nozawa Rongai called her in, and she was like, "I mean, I guess. Do I have to?"
She was rocking with Los Perros del Mal de Japón. She was rocking. Okay.
Yeah, like I said, Nozawa was like, me and your homegirl go way back, but that's a whole nother situation. Let's talk about now. But yeah, I mean, I'm just really happy with what we got on this show, top to bottom. I'm continuing to be super excited for this marvelous feud, and I expect that to really take us into the next, big points of the company. Nanae will be missed, obviously, but I more than most people, I think I trust Utami. I trust Mirai. I trust Mayu, to really lead this company forward, even without Nanae there full time or at all. Well, without hers there on screen, I should say.
Yeah. And Peps.
I'm excited for the next couple of months, and maybe the most I've been since the Dreamstar ended, I would say. Simply because, like, top to bottom, the promotion got much better in every aspect, and they have the momentum now back. Like, the momentum, of course, is not on the level it was at the beginning, but it's likely the hardest the promotion has been ever since the beginning hype died down a bit, and the roster noticed it, and that is like the most important part. You go into like every show now, and you have something to look forward to, and that is just something I just miss with this promotion. And the next 5 months are going to be interesting because you gotta fill up 5 months now until Sumo Hall to keep up the momentum and then sell a good Sumo Hall number. Like, they will obviously have a big draw, like, that's obvious, but outside of that, like, you can't book Sumo Hall based on one person alone. You need something around it, and that is the goal for the next couple of months. I'm excited. I'm excited for the Dreamstar. I think it's going to be a better tournament than last year, even though you don't have Seri and Nanae, who both were like at least top 5 MVPs last year. But for that, you get like one of the best tournament wrestlers you can have, as well as likely one of Marvelous and some others. So, like, and of course a better roster itself. So the next couple of months will be cool. I'm happy for that. Yeah. Shout out Nagisa Tachibana.
I mean, I agree, but that's a crazy.
That's crazy. All right. Well, I will wrap it up. I'm very excited for what's next. I'm very excited where they're going. I'm very happy with this show. There's some things I actually want to rewatch when I actually have sleep and haven't gone like 24 hours at that point. But fantastic show. If you haven't watched it, if you're watching this back just to get an idea of how the show was, go out of your way to check it out. Invest time in these wrestlers. They deserve it full-heartedly. Like, I truly believe this roster is only going to get better and better and better. There's still a lot of new names. If you're looking at this picture right now, you might only know a handful. I promise the ones that you don't know, they're trying their best. They're trying to step up. That's the excitement. That's the passion of this roster, and I'm very excited. So with that, I do have one thing to say. With Nanae Takahashi gone, this is now Mayu Iwatani company. Thank you, everyone, for listening. I will send you off. I thank you all for joining me. I thank Peps. I thank Dylan. I thank Xavi. And I look forward to the next chapter, the next year, as year number 2 for Marigold kicks off. So long, everyone. Farewell. Passion.
Hi, Bailey.